evening, everybody. I'll call this regular meeting to order for July the 21st, 2026. Be it resolved that the agenda for the July 21st, 2026 regular meeting of council be adopted. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. All in favor? It's carried. Deputy Mayor Moriaux is attending by video, same with CFO Gnida and Director Harvey, and Councillor McKenzie is away from is not able to attend as far as I know. I don't have Be it resolved the minutes for the June 16, 2026 regular meeting of council be approved. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion, any errors or omissions? All in favor? It's carried. 3.2. Be it resolved the minutes for the July 3rd, 2026 special meeting of council be approved. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 3.3. Be it resolved the minutes for the July 14, 2026 special meeting council be approved. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 4.1. Be it resolved that this regular meeting be adjourned. Public hearing for variance order 2, 2026 be opened. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. All in favor? It's carried. I call the hearing to order to hear variance order application number 2, 2026. The purpose of the hearing is to hear representation for or against the following variance order. For the installation of a detached ground level deck to be 1 foot inside the property line instead of the normally required 2-foot setback.
Your Worship, I can confirm requirements of Section 169 of the Planning Act have been adhered to.
I request that any person making representation to the hearing state their name and civic address. Do we have anybody that wants to make any representation? Go ahead.
Come forward.
Yeah. Just state your name and your civic address, please. You can sit. You don't have to stand.
Okay. David Beeson, 301 Park View Drive.
Okay, thank you.
I'm wondering if you had received the pictures and the signatures from.
We have.
Okay.
Council has all that.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to add to that at all?
All I wanted to say, I guess, from the beginning is that there was never any undue thoughts when this thing happened of trying to get away with something or not do the right thing. I actually phoned the town office before we moved here to get the property lines and where they were. So they sent me the drawing, and then we called it Before You Dig and had them come out and mark everything. And before I started putting the chain and wood fence up, I had all the documents and never dreamed I would need a permit for a ground level deck. That I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but it's really right on the ground, and it's a foot within the property. So there was nothing untoward about it, but then I found out there is this kind of a setback, and I'm hoping you'll understand that.
Okay. All right. Council has all the information here that you provided in your variance application, so we do thank you for that. Okay, we'll be making a decision on that once we close the hearing, unless any members of council have any questions.
Okay, so what do I do now?
You can take your chair again unless the council has a question.
Okay.
Doesn't appear to be. So
Thank
thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you.
Be it resolved that this public hearing be closed at 7:05 p.m. and the regular meeting be reopened. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. All in favor? It's carried. 412. Be it resolved that the variance order application 2, 2026 for 301 Parkview Drive be approved. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. It's been approved.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Let me just say one thing, with all you have going on about flooding and that, kudos to all of you, because I know it's a lot going on that you're responsible for. So, all
Thank
the best.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Be it resolved that this regular meeting be adjourned and public hearing on variance order 3, 2026 be opened. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. All in favor? It's carried. I call the hearing to order. Hear variance order application number 3, 2026. The purpose of the hearing is to hear representation for or against the following variance order. The applicants are requesting a variance to allow an existing accessory building or shed to remain in its current location. The structure has been constructed with its west side directly on the property line. The zoning bylaw requires a minimum side yard setback of 2 feet.
Your worship, I can confirm that the requirements of section 169 of the Planning Act have been adhered to.
I request that any person who wants to make representation to the hearing state their name and civic address. Is there anything that you want to?
Come on, both of them.
Teresa Strelaya,
Okay,
6 Silverwood Drive.
Sheldon Strelov, 6 Silverwood Drive.
all right, welcome. We have your information as well. Is there anything that you want to add to the hearing?
Well, again, like Dave said, we didn't even know that because the shed that was there before that we had replaced that was infested with rodents and skunks, we just put this one right on the same line, so
Replaced it in the
we
exact
replaced it
same.
in the same spot,
Same
but yeah,
spot.
we went bigger into our yard, and so, yeah, we didn't know.
Our apologies for
Yeah,
not
we didn't know
knowing.
we were even
Yeah.
on that line, because that's where the other one was, but you've seen the papers and stuff.
We have seen it.
So yeah, we're just asking that we can leave it there, preferably, but it is, there is a space of spruce trees, and then there's a West Van MTS line that goes down there, so
Very
that
well.
space will never be used unless they're ripping out the MTS lines, but highly doubtful.
I'm very aware. I used to live there. So.
Yeah, old neighbor.
Yes, full name.
Probably put that shit there.
No, it wasn't me. All right, does council have any questions? Councilor Bobby.
So have you spoke to your neighbors about this thing?
Yes, they actually, we already got them to sign an easement with the lawyer, and then we
Okay.
got made aware that we had to come here first to get the variance approved.
Okay.
So they already have signed the first one, but now we get them to sign the second one.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Now I'll just adjourn the hearing. 421, resolved that the public hearing be closed at 7:09 p.m. with the regular meeting being reopened. Moved by Councillor Glen Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. All in favor? It's carried. 422, be it resolved the variance order application 3, 2026 for 6 Silverwood Drive be approved. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. It's been approved.
Thank you.
And like I said, you're more than welcome
You
to
do.
stay.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. again.
So that's
We
fun.
weren't so busy that we'd stay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Be it resolved, the email dated June the 22nd, 2026 from CN regarding Rail Safety Week 2026 be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried 6-2. Be it resolved in the email attachments dating June the 22nd, 2026 from the RCMP CMC Secretariat regarding the 2026 Census and Population Contract, policing implications for emerging and emerging municipalities be received. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6-3. Be it resolved, the letter and advertisement dated June the 24th, 2026 from Marymount Health regarding volunteer recruitment be received. Moved by Councillor Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. Any discussion? Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I was just curious how we're supposed to support this, or how we have historically. Like when they say that they're asking assistance and helping them recruit volunteers, like is that providing them space to do it? Is that actually?
They're looking for advertising like on our social media platform and newspaper, I think, is what I understand. Is that correct?
That's correct. We did both. They asked us to advertise it on our platforms. It's been on our Facebook, and the fact that we're having it received in public right now is what they want us to.
Okay. So they're going to be managing the actual doers of
Yeah.
them. Okay.
No more downloading.
Yeah.
Any other further discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6-4. Be it resolved, the letter dated July the 6th, 2026 from the Minister of Emergency Management and Community Resilience regarding federal assistance be received. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. This is the one minister I'll mention that Mr. Olszewski that I spent some time during the flooding time to get help to our community, and she was, her office was very helpful. 6.5. Be it resolved, the email dated June 25th, 2026 from MMSM regarding the recycling paper cups be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6.6. Be it resolved, the email dated July the 7th, 2026 from the fire chief regarding the fire marquee be received. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6.7. Be it resolved that the letter dated July the 8th, 2026 from the Municipal and Public Relations regarding financial information be received. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6.8. Be it resolved that the supplementary report dated July 15, 2026 from Linda Cole, Chartered Professional Accountants Incorporated relating to their audit of the town of Swan River consolidated financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2023 be received. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Any discussion? Councillor Whyte.
Just a compliment to our staff for contributing to that report. I keep thinking we should get a discount because it appears that much of the work that they need to do is already done by Terry and his team. That doesn't seem to fly.
So the agreement that we have with the auditors and through what we do the audit or the RFP process. So I can imagine that's not it. But thank you. I think that's interesting. But yeah, it's definitely earned for sure. The work of our team and CFO. favor? Opposed? It's carried. There's so many on here, I'm
I
trying
know.
to keep myself in order here. Be it resolved that the bulletin dated July the 16th, 2026 from Municipal and Northern Relations regarding accommodation tax legislation or legislative changes being received, moved by Councillor Bobick, second by Councillor Powell. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 6:10. Be it resolved the building permits 1626 through 2526 with a total estimated value of $1,864,399 be received. Moved by Councillor Powell, second by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Moving down to reports, 7.1. Be it resolved that the Chief Administrative Officer's report be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? Councillor Bobick.
Excuse me. Just reading here, when it says we hired multiple contractors, just wondering if all of their workers' comps were up to date, if we do check workers' compensations on the contractors.
Mr. Harvey or CO Tewnion can answer that. Mr. Harvey, maybe is the best choice.
Sure, we'll start with Director Harvey, please.
Okay. Mr. Harvey?
Sorry, just switching screens. Yeah, we've taken a look at their WCB.
So that's a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Is that it, Councillor Bob?
One for Indian standards.
Yeah. Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Yeah, so I'm looking through the report and seeing that CO Tewnion is going to be going on some leave here shortly. And I'm just curious as to administration's capacity to completely do a full documentation and filling out the DFA grant, or not grant, the DFA assistance claim, what the office capacity has for that. And maybe we should be looking at engaging a third party to help assist with the compilation of the information and completion of that grant, application form, so that it's sent in a timely fashion. So.
Yeah, good question. It's something that we've had with the office, but go ahead, CO Tewnion.
Yeah, we're well on top of the claim process. We actually have a long time to do it, but we started immediately with the first flood, Deputy Mayor Moriaux. We're also engaging, well, I shouldn't say engaging, we're examining which consultant to hire, which will be covered by the DFA claim itself, because we do want to get it right. So that is all a work in progress, and that has no bearing on my absence for a week.
Okay, so hearing what you said, that you are looking at that, I'm fully prepared to present a motion here tonight to authorize administration to engage that third party.
Okay, I don't know if you can make a motion or a resolution, because we don't have, that could have been changed during the beginning of the meeting, so maybe that's something that maybe can be brought up at a future meeting then. Is that what you're saying?
I guess wherever, I don't know if it's a motion as a result of our discussion. I know it's not on the agenda as a specific item, but it's a motion as a result of this discussion from this CEO report resolution.
Is that, can we not? Go ahead.
I'm just questioning if we actually need a resolution. It'd be an administrative
Yeah,
decision. Do we need to have council approval for that?
Okay, so did you hear that?
I heard it, so if we don't need it, great, but I sent you a draft there, CEO Tewnion, should you need it in the future.
Okay. Anything further?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Duane Whyte.
I don't know much about generators, for Mr. Bobick on this one. But in the high school, at the back end, down by the forest here, there's a huge motor, like a truck, an engine motor. And I was led to believe that was a backup generator device to keep the school running when the power was down. It's huge. So when I read that NEC doesn't know about it, I think they're mistaken. I could be at the course.
What is your question?
Well, it says that they don't have one. Well, according to Team Rubicon News at High School, no evidence of secondary power generator for the facility. And I think that's wrong. I think the facility has a giant generator device that does the same job.
That probably would be something that the school division would probably have to answer, but I don't know if Mr. Harvey knows that at all.
The next sentence is, regardless of the lack of a generator, a statement of fact. No evidence and then a statement of fact. Those are contradictory.
Mr. Harvey, any comments on that, or maybe the CEO?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You're questioning our MEC's determination that there's no generator there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I can follow up to see if he's mistaken, but I wouldn't have put that down if I didn't believe that he was correct.
I'm sort of fussy about the English language as well. They're good at it. It says there's no evidence of having one. I guess they think there is none, and then it says there is none in the next sentence. So I'd ask you to check that out, because if they have one, that's information that should be available.
So our CEO will look into that.
Yes,
to see
that's
if that
fine.
actually is accurate. And we'll go from there. Any other further discussion on 7.1? Councillor Ainslie, what?
So are we, like, when are we talking about the flood and everything that happened? And when are we debriefing on that /
That will be in one of our town meetings in the next, what are we?
like, when is that, September?
No, and there's no call for that. What's that?
I've asked the directors to work with me so we can have further August 11th committee of the whole meeting.
Okay. I didn't mean that. I meant, like, is that not till September? Because there's the regular meeting's not till August. I'm thinking,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't take it that way. I just hadn't advertised it. That I just, as a matter of fact, this afternoon said, "Hey, folks, let's try and get it together for the 11th." It was too soon this week, and we have a stacked agenda.
yeah.
Probably too soon for our next too late for our next regular meeting. So I figured we can put it on the agenda for our next committee of the whole, which is what we did last time as well. So August 11th is what we're shooting for.
Okay. And then the Manitoba housing discussion. What is that involving?
We actually don't even know. They've actually requested to have me in a meeting with CEO Tewnion, and so they didn't give us the details on that. So that's something that is somewhere there. I don't know. It'll be something that I will have to report to council once I hear from them what they want to talk about.
Okay. Well, it's just about when the meeting goes. Oh, the financial audits. Are we normally would we normally be just completed 2023?
So
And is there, what am I missing of why it would be so delayed?
So CFO Gnida went over that, I think, in one of the questions that we had during that meeting that we had, that presentation. We have committees that receive money, municipal money, from the town of Swan River, and by bylaw, we need to make sure that each of those committees are providing their financial documents to the town of Swan River. Audited financial statements usually is the case in order for us to complete our own audit. It's
Right.
required. And that's what holds it up. Now, if CFO Gnida wants to expand on that a little bit, I'll invite him to respond to that as well. CFO Gnida?
Just with a lot of staff turnover and new inexperienced managers, things have fallen behind. So I'm working as hard as I can to catch up.
Yeah, I wasn't in any way meaning that in a condescending manner asking. I was just curious, like I thought there must have been something. Because then I wonder if we've got committees that haven't provided their statements for 2024 yet, like, is that on us to ensure that before we're continuing to fund? And I know that's in an awkward position. I can't imagine being on the phone with somebody that says, but we really need the money. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to have your statements in because we have to have our stuff done. Does that?
Well, that's part of it, not the whole thing, like, you know, like CFO Gnida said with the staffing and all that. A lot of the times those come in, but they do come in late. Just recently, members of council and committees received notice saying, hey, we need to see what these financial documents look like so that we can continue on with either paying the funds to those entities or continue on with our own audit as well.
Thanks.
CFO Gnida.
Yeah, as I reported when I presented the 2023 financial statements, the auditors have the 2024 records, so they're working on it. As soon as they'll have their audit done, then it'll be coming to council for approval. And then, as I mentioned, the 2025 cannot be completed yet because still waiting for financial statements from some entities, although just received the libraries a few minutes ago, but haven't heard anything at all about the planning district or RISE.
Right.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, very good. CO Tewnion, did you have something?
I was just going to put some context for Councillor Whyte, the Whyte with an I, Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Just so you know, too, last year the province had the Auditor General do an audit across the province, and as a result, the province has, I would say, strengthened their stance on the deadlines for financial audits. So what may have been forgiven before, like the letter that we just had received says, if you don't provide it, you will have your funding frozen. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're saying we're going to now hold you accountable for, I would suggest there wasn't such strict guidelines before. So we're doing a great job catching up. That's what we're trying to say.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Duane, Washington.
Mr. Gnida, I'm led to believe you got everything you needed for medical services just recently also?
Yes, just within the last few days we got the statement from the Fund for Recruitment and Retention of Medical Professionals.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so any other discussion? Go ahead.
I would just like to also say that it's not like these committees are not asking for the financial statement to happen. You know what I mean? Like we are, I know we've had our stuff with the accountant for quite some time, but things happen. There's just lots of, you know what I mean? There's tax and issues and stuff like that. So, but yes, we are like seriously, we're like, okay, because our funding completely runs on if we can get this, like whether we get our grant from the town, whether we did get from RISE, but our Northwest Regional Library, actually public libraries, won't give us funding until. So right now, we're just lucky we're in a good financial spot. You know, I mean, we're fairly able to hold ourselves right now because most committees can't. You know what I mean? There's a lot. You don't have those. So, yeah.
Councillor Duane.
Just for CFO Ganida's sake, I think your little nudge last week and you listed the groups, and if I heard this right, all of them that you nudged very politely have replied. We have to do that more often.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Somebody has their phone on, so can you please put your phone on silent because I can hear it once in a while. Somebody to my left. So I don't know where it's coming from.
I can't hear it.
Green?
Yeah, I heard it making a noise, all like a notification noise. So just put your phone on silent. Okay, moving on. Be it resolved, the Director of Public Works report be received. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? Councillor Duane Whyte.
Well, not just to Public Works, but to CO Tewnion and his team, which includes Public Works, et cetera, et cetera. certainly went really, really well. Glitch, of course, but nobody was prepared for what was being thrown at us, but our team, the town team, and the people that helped them certainly did exemplary work. I want to thank them for that.
Any other discussion? Councillor Ainslie, Mike.
I was curious if we were participating, I can't remember who suggested it, but it was for the valley to do an assessment. I can't even remember where I read it, but it was proposed that we wouldn't do just our area. We would, as a collective, do a flood plan going forward based upon the events that happened.
I think that was kind of thrown, because we're going to do our own briefing, just like any other municipality will be doing that, but I think that there had been some talk about having further discussion at a G4 meeting about some of that, and that was coming out of the first flood, I believe, is where that came out.
Because we were talking here that, or Director Harvey had said that inquired with the MO on the 1 in 200 flood mapping, and that we don't have flood mapping. And then...
Sorry.
No, it was somehow proven, like, because we haven't had a flood in so long, we can't even use, and things have changed so much that we can't even really use, it's not relevant, and so that... Anyway, yes, please, Director Harvey.
Sorry, 1 in 200 flood mapping for Tamarack. So we do have 1 in 200 for the Swan River, but not for Tamarack Creek.
And it's a... Like,
So that's what we're requesting, if they can generate the 1 in 200 for Tamarack.
Thanks.
Any further discussion on the Director of Public Works report? All in favor? It's carried. 7.3. Be it resolved, the Director of Recreation's report be received. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Yeah, I'm just inquiring, Director Gordon-Broome, what's the status or plan and staffing capacity to get both Legion and Rotary Parks cleaned up and open to the public in a safe fashion? Do you have the staff for that, or do we need to look at outside contractors to help mitigate some of that damage and debris that's in there?
We have already have a number of pool staff that were wanting more hours doing some things in recreation. So they've gone through and they've cleaned up all of the garbage. They've been cleaning off the stage, hosing down benches and repainting and doing some of those things. Our actual recreation staff have already gutted out the concession that got flood damage and the bathrooms, but we will have contractors come in to redo those. We just don't want to take away from houses that need it more than our facilities at the park right now, so we'll wait on that. And then we have called in a contractor to go through and look at all of the trees in the park, because a number of them did fall down and need cleanup, and we want to make sure by professionals that what is still standing is safe. So they just updated me today that they're about 75% done reviewing that, and we'll go from there. So our goal is to hopefully have it reopened at the beginning of August and to continue with the programming that we were going to be doing down there this summer.
Okay, the reason why I ask is that those are two gems, especially the Legion Park, and the sooner we can get those facilities, parks running for the public to be better, but we have to make it safe. So if we can maximize the use of contractors and then put those costs on our DFA application, should they be eligible, we should be looking at that direction. And also, do we have a timeline of when the sweeper, if it's able to, or is it possible for them to go on the pass in Legion Park to sweep up the cement? And I forgot to ask Mr. Harvey too about a first pass on the streets.
Yeah, Director Harvey and I were actually speaking about this today, about what we will have to do to look at to get some of the areas on his streets cleaned, as well as the paths in the park. So maybe he wants to speak more on that.
Mr. Harvey?
So we have done passes in some areas, but like 7th Ave North, there's still a fair amount of mud there. So I had the contractor that was collecting the flood debris from materials try and scrape the asphalt a little bit, just so that our sweeper could be more effective when it goes. So we are going to go there this week, but we might have to do a second pass because they're still hauling a bunch of material out of there.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be all cleaned up on the first pass, but at least get the bulk of it out of there so it's not so muddy and dusty for the residents there and in the park. So, but I guess my point is that if you need a resolution to authorize contractors to the full extent, I'm willing to bring that forward. But if you guys don't need that and are actually going down that path, great.
Yeah, I think we are in both departments very much going down that path.
Okay, very good. Excellent questions, by the way. Councillor Ainslie.
How did the inspection go today?
The inspection went really well.
Yay,
yeah,
that's great.
they did have to recoat all of the pipe hangers, all of the cuts they made on the pipe hanger, on the actual hangers after they put them up. So they did do 2 coats, but the inspector would like to see a couple more, especially in some spots. So I think it's tonight. Yeah, tonight they are doing. That's what they're doing tonight, is going through and putting the kind of finishing touches on that epoxy on the end of the hangers, and then they'll just have to come and do some pipe wrap at some point, but it's pretty much done. Yeah, so it went really well.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 74741. Be it resolved that the report dated June the 23rd, 2026 from the Chief Administrative Officer regarding a correction to the Public Reserve Shoreline Vegetation Management Bylaw be received. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 742. Be it resolved that the Municipal Emergency Coordinator Report, the Director of Public Works, Flood After Action Analysis Report, the Flood Map, and CO After Action Report that were reviewed by Council during the June 24, 2026 Committee of the Whole meeting be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 743. Be it resolved that the report dated June the 9th, 2026 from the Director of Public Works regarding a water leak at the Starlight Trailer Court be received. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? Councillor Bobick.
So how did we come up with the figure on this? What did we even forget?
Okay, I think we went over that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say we went over that at the CAB meeting, Councillor Bobick. It was an average. Well, actually, I'm going to let Director Harvey explain the same thing we explained before. If you wouldn't mind, Director Harvey.
Yeah, so it's the last 2 quarters, but of the same quarter, because people have different consumptions throughout the year, and averaged those, and then subtracted that from their last bill. So basically what their normal bill would have been.
So you went,
We used the last 2 quarters, or the last 2 quarters of that same time period, and average it and subtract that from the bill when the leak happened.
Any other discussion? Councillor Bob?
yeah, I just kind of find it that you went exactly the same as what they would have paid normally, like there's no repercussions for having a leak or what looking after the thing. So I'm not saying that was a fault of anybody's, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you can go ahead and town will forgive everything. Because I caution council that this sets a precedent. So big time precedent that if you had a leak on the salt, use myself as an example, which I don't have town water. If I had a leak, and I come to you and say, well, this is my normal, why would I get forgiveness?
Any other discussion? Councillor Duane Whyte.
I think the numbers, I'm not suggesting you're suggesting they're made up or would be by another, but those numbers are based on data that the town has arrived with the records. So we're saying, hey, this thing is completely out of its hands, we do nothing about it, no vacation is happening, we're going to charge what you owe, no more, no less.
Yeah, I totally understand that, but I guess what I'm saying is you're setting a precedent. So the next guy does exactly the same thing down the street, so you're going to do that.
Councillor Powell.
We discussed this all, didn't
That's
we?
exactly what we did, yes.
Yep.
And this was the agreement.
So, okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 744. Be it resolved, the report dated June 8, 2026 from the Chief Administrative Officer regarding the water agreement with the municipality of Swan Valley West be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? Councillor Bobick?
I don't know what to say here. This has been going on for years, back and forth. So I really don't think our staff should be putting any more effort into it. We've had to deal with this a long time. Councillor McKenzie and I were both involved in that years ago, and these deals have been made and dissolved I don't know how many times because either councils change or somebody decides it's not good. I think I would love to see the RM have rural water. I think that's what we do for our neighbors, but at the same time, I don't think it matters what we put in there, there's going to be a change. So I don't know why the municipality of Swan Valley West doesn't give us a proposal. Let them write the proposal and let us look at it.
See you, Tanya.
I just want to clarify for council's benefit for expediency. These things are just to receive what we already received and discussed at committee of the whole. There's a resolution later on to vote on, and that's where we might want to debate it. But this is just to receive the documents for the official receipt of them, because at a committee of the whole, they're not received in public like they need to now.
Save some time for later.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Councillor Duane Whyte.
I think that was it.
Okay, so all in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 745. Be it resolved that the June 2026 Swan River Handed Transevant report be received. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 746. Be it resolved that the report dated July the 8th, 2026 from the Chief Administrative Officer regarding the role of council during an emergency be received. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 747. Be it resolved that the report dated July the 10th, 2026 from the Chief Administrative Officer regarding the accommodation tax bylaw be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 748. Be it resolved, the report dated July the 16th, 2026 from the Chief Administrative Officer regarding amending the emergency plan be received. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 749. Be it resolved, the report dated July the 21st, 2026 from the Director of Public Works regarding building permits for flood-related repairs be received. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 7.5. Reports. Councillor Duane Whyte.
It's regular things happening all the time. June the 23rd, we had our COW meeting, and I wish we'd have known the fund was coming to anybody good, but we didn't discuss that at the time, but we talked about things financing. Then July the 3rd, we had a special meeting of council to talk about status of the emergency, declaring the state of emergency, which unfortunately we did do, because then I think for Tewnion and the rest of his team, all of this things were much easier. On July the 21st, I met with Reed Bierman, and we were talking about the financing for medical services, and those monies we put in for the recruiting and retention, we put into a fund managed by Mountain North. So I think there are 4, okay. And I have been communicating, not well, from my perspective, with PMH, representing the medical services team, letting them know that if we can help them in the dolphin situation, for example, please contact us, and we'll certainly try to help you too. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Bobick.
Thank you, Your Worship. Much similar to Councillor White's. The same thing, COW meetings, flood-related stuff. I just would like to mention that Watershed is still doing the testings. Other than that, that's all I have.
Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
For myself, not a whole lot. I've been away most of the time, but I participated in the last committee of the whole meeting. And then while I was away up here in the north with the fires, kept in touch with his worship and that where I can assist where possible remotely during the last flood. But also kept in close contact with the fire chief, with the Swan Valley Fire Department for their operations, and discussions and liaisoning with the Office of the Fire Commissioner on some issues and future planning for the department.
Great, thank you. Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I don't have any reports. Will I have time later to ask some things, or is now my time?
In your privilege.
Okay, then, no, I have nothing else to report.
Okay. Councillor Powell.
Okay, I think we've all mentioned all the Powell and everything that I attended. We did have a library AGM last night, and I think it went very well. My report is here, definitely here, I just kind of brief on it. Okay. I guess everything is going very well in the library right now. We're just there's so many things happening. Our librarian is very, very out there, active, wanting to have kids in everybody. Settlement Services has things, so it's been really, really good. I think the Gnida Library, I believe we're looking for someone at the Gnida Library right now, someone retired. But other than that, I think they're just they're all very, very busy. Summer, we've got so many summer things going on, so if you're able to get out there, I know at the meeting last night, it was said there was over 3,000 books in the month that were taken out, which is a lot of books, right? When you think about it, so, and so that was last night, and, my apologies, we won't have a RISE, we had a RISE meeting, it was called on, I believe it was the 6th of this month, but I didn't know about it, so I don't know whether we will be able to get those financials or to pass that budget.
thank you for the personal invitation to attend the meeting last night, and I did attend it, and so it looks like the library board is doing a really good job with the staff there, so I congratulate you guys for all that. For myself, Swan Valley Health Facilities Foundation is moving still along with some other administrative changes, so we now have some of those people in place. We're just trying to meet up during the summer months, which is kind of sometimes a hard thing to do, but we still have some other things that we're dealing with. I did speak with CEO Trina Slate about some of the issues with the Dauphin Hospital and providing space in our foundation house if we need to have nurses staying there, and whatever support staff they need for any additional services or procedures that need to be provided in our hospital from the Dauphin area. So that's something that is ongoing, but we had some communication just last week through our foundation. Also with the vet board, we are working on doing our building repairs. I believe that started yesterday, so hopefully we can mitigate some of the issues with some water leaking into the building that we've been dealing with over the winter months for the last few years. So that's ongoing. So other than that, that's it for me for my committees. So move on to 8.1. Whereas Rail Safety Week is to be held across Canada from September the 21st to 27, 2026, whereas 252 rail crossings and trespassing incidents occurred in Canada in 2025, resulting in 69 avoidable fatalities and 60 avoidable serious injuries. Whereas educating and informing the public about rail safety, reminding the public that railway right-of-ways are private property, enhancing public awareness of the dangers associated with highway, rail, gate, grade crossings, ensuring pedestrians and motorists are looking and listening along near railways, and obeying established traffic laws. Will reduce the number of avoidable fatalities and injuries caused by incidents involving trains and citizens. Whereas Operation Lifesaver is a public-private partnership whose aim is to work with the public, rail industry, governments, police services, media, and others to raise rail safety awareness. And whereas CN and Operation Lifesaver has requested the City Council adopt this resolution in support of its ongoing efforts to raise awareness, save lives, and prevent injuries in communities, including our municipality. Be it resolved that National Rail Safety Week be declared from September the 21st to the 27th, 2026. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Any discussion? All in favor? It's carried. 8.2. Whereas at the June 23rd, 2026 Committee of the Whole, Council directed that the drafting of a revised procedures bylaw be considered. Be it resolved that the administration be directed to include on the August 11, 2026 Committee of the Whole agenda the matter of revised procedure bylaw. And be it further resolved, the Council commits to provide any proposed amendments to the Chief Administrative Officer before the cutoff date of August 7, 2026 for the next Committee of the Whole. Moved by Councillor Ainslie Whyte, seconded by Councillor Powell. Any discussion? Go ahead, Councillor.
I agree with everything here, except that it has to be all council members. Any one absence, the quorum can't speak. It says right here that all members have to be present to make a change. That is.
Oh, so that's to change the bylaw.
To change it.
We can still go through it. We're not changing it all that night. We're going through the process of changing it. So that's what the CEO was asking for, is what members of council would like to see. That would start the ball rolling as far as changing the bylaw.
I'm agreeing with everything I read there, except it has to be 100%.
Go ahead.
Just for clarity, at the risk of sounding disrespectful, this has been on the agenda a number of times, and I've requested council tell me what changes they want incorporated. So I thought maybe by putting it into an official resolution with a date, that we can have some movement so we can get this thing going at our next county meeting. So I would encourage you, Councillor Whyte, if you have specific changes you want to see, if you can bring them to my attention so we can put them into the draft. Okay?
Any further discussion? Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Yeah, looking at this, since we're in the waning 3 months of our term, I think it's, I don't know, to me, it basically, not to be sounding rude or not, but a waste of time. If there's changes, I would say let the new council that's going to have to live with these changes make those changes after the election. Right now, we could be, by the time this bylaw's passed and it goes through the third reading, it's going to be October anyway, and it's wasting our time.
Okay, I'll let council decide that at the time. So, any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. August 7th is the deadline. 8.3. Whereas a leak in the Starlight Mobile Home Park water distribution system discharged directly into the sewer system and was not detectable during normal maintenance. Whereas the leak resulted in an abnormally high utility bill of $30,491.44, and whereas the property owner had been advised the water leak credits are granted only once per property, and any future leak-related charges will be the owner's responsibility. Be it resolved that administration is authorized to issue a credit of $21,916.04 to Starlight Mobile Home Park, representing the difference between the billed amount and the average utility cost for the same quarter of the last or the 2 previous years. Moved by Councillor Glen Whyte, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Any discussion? Councillor Bobick.
Well, I'm just saying that when we look at Starlight Trailer Court, I would call them a bulk water user. So at the same time, we have a municipality that wants bulk water rates. At the same time, we're setting a precedent here by, let's say there is an agreement made between municipalities and they have a leak. What are you going to do about that? Set the precedent.
I think that administration will look at that in a case-by-case situation. I would have to consider or think about so when they bring that to us. I don't know, Mr. Harvey, want to have any response to that or Oh, Mr. Harvey, I did call you.
Sorry, I didn't have my mic on. Yeah, we look at it case by case. In this case, it was going underground into the sewer system, so it wasn't visible from the surface.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 8.4. Whereas the town of Swan has an ongoing agreement with the province of Manitoba as a service provider for the Swan Valley Employment and Training Project, whereas the province of Manitoba is requesting renewal of the agreement amendments to the previous agreement to accommodate year-end closure requirements, and whereas the CAO has reviewed the updated agreement with the province of Manitoba project officer responsible for this matter and supports the minor revisions contained therein. Be it resolved that the renewed agreement and the associated amendments be received and approved. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? Any comments there, CO Tewnion at all?
I have no comments at all. I went through it with the project manager. I have no concerns, very minimal changes, and it'll just be a repeat of what's been previous years.
All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 8.5. Be it resolved that Darren Harvey, Director of Public Works, is appointed to act in the capacity of Chief Administrative Officer from Friday, July 24th, 2026 to Friday, July 31st, 2026, inclusive, and shall assume all responsibilities and authorities of the position during that period. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 8-6. Be it resolved, the Town of Swan River 2026 emergency plan be amended to add to section 2.1 and appendix C a duty for the mayor that they may order an evacuation, add to section 2.1 and appendix C a duty for the municipal emergency coordinator that they may order an evacuation, add to appendix C the local authority administrator, chief administrative officer, CEO, may order an evacuation, and add to appendix E, sections 1.1, third paragraph, an assigned incident commander may order an evacuation. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I understand that there might be feeling like we don't, like I understand that there's circumstances that arise, but I just think that's something that is important for council to participate with. I don't think that one person should have that authority.
CAO Tewnion, comments on that?
Just that.
We're referring through the EOC, is that what it is, or is that just, are we talking like any time, like, I guess this is basically when we're in an emergency EOC situation?
We would have the Emergency Operations Center open. That's basically tasked with making operational decisions. It was Councillor Whyte who mentioned, Councillor Duane Whyte who mentioned at the last COW meeting that I believe he said they're the experts who can make the decisions, something like that. So that's why I put this resolution forward, because there are situations where we don't have time to have a special meeting with council to get together and convince you folks of what needs to be done from our perspective. But that's why the resolution's here for council to discuss and consider for the plan. I just want to add one more thing too.
Yeah.
This doesn't take away council's ability to do that. This just adds to that ability. Council always has the ability to make the evacuation order, but there are going to be circumstances where, exigent circumstances where it's not practical to get council together. So in those situations, we are recommending the authority be delegated accordingly to your operational team.
Okay, go ahead.
And I don't feel that 2026 emergency plan should be completely finalized until we receive the full debriefing and identify whether there's any further gaps or recommendations that would need to be added to that plan, because we haven't even had that yet. And although I understand that council would still have the opportunity to make that decision, I think that final decision, if possible to retain a quorum, I would hope we would never be in a situation where we would not have time to have a conversation, be it on the phone. There could be parameters put in place to make it, not everybody has to be in the office sitting here to make the decision, but I feel that as representatives of council that is important. And that's where we always, and it's been said, that we are the governance, that we take the information from the people that have the information to formulate a decision that best supports the town. So I wouldn't feel comfortable handing that to one individual, whether it's CAO or the acting emergency person or whoever is the commander of that situation.
Okay. Any other discussion? Councillor Powell.
I do have to, yeah, and I am in agreement with that, because I feel that we need to know, we need to, and I know that it was difficult to get us together, but I think I want it reviewed a little bit more, or a little bit more looked into, like what exactly, you're basically saying that, you're saying you're able to do this without us knowing, basically, is that what you're?
So I'm hearing from council that, well, so far, 2 members of council, haven't heard from everybody, but if you feel that this needs to be amendment, or I mean, sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? Table, then maybe that's something that can be tabled to a town meeting for further discussion. Because I think there is also some misunderstanding, I think, also at the same time. So I think that needs to be clarified. So if council doesn't feel that they have all the information right now, then the act of or request to have a table would be appropriate.
Okay, I'll request to have a table.
Okay. So Councillor Powell is asking it to be tabled till when?
But
Next council meeting?
yeah,
Okay. What's next?
Oh,
11th.
11th,
Yeah,
correct.
so the next count for the 11th. Do we have a seconder to have it tabled? Councillor Ainslie Whyte. All in favor to have it tabled? It's tabled. Okay, so
Excuse me. Who was the seconder?
Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
Thank you.
8.7, whereas 3 flooding events in the town of Swan River has caused significant damage to private properties, and whereas property owners are required to obtain a building permit for repairs and renovations resulting from flood damage, be it resolved that any building permits fees associated with flood-related repairs or renovations shall be paid by the town of Swan River, and be it further resolved that the town of Swan River submits claims to the disaster financial assistance or DFA were eligible to recover the costs incurred for funding for these flood-related permits. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? Councillor Bobick.
So it's not that the homeowner doesn't need a permit, it means that they won't have to pay.
Say that again?
It doesn't mean that the homeowner doesn't need a permit, it means that he doesn't have to pay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Moriaux.
Yeah, I may be getting up in age, but the resolution says 3. When was the first flood?
There'll be more coming.
2. I think it maybe is an error. I had Mr. Harvey up there, then he disappeared, and now he's back again, so I'll let him go.
Yeah, so the 3 flooding events are the Tamarack in June, the Tamarack right at the end of June, and then the Swan River. So the second and third one happened within a day of each other.
That's right. That makes sense. Okay, see Tewnion, you got a question?
Yeah, I was just going to state exactly that.
Any other discussion? Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
I don't know if this is, it's to do with this, but we will need to spread some awareness on the permitting mandate and what needs a permit and what folks, how they apply for the permit and how we support that. To let them know that there's not a cost associated, but that action needs to take place to avoid further delegations like we had this morning.
Yeah, I think that administration will work on how they want to promote that or advertise that. I think that they've done a really good job of during the flood as well, so with the updates and all that. But most people know that they need to take permits out when they're doing their basements or building something. Maybe sometimes they think that they're replacing something, they don't need one, but most times when you're building, you need to have a permit. So anyway, I would trust that the administration is going to be working on some kind of promotion, educational advertising that would help people to understand what this really means. Is that fair?
Is that very fair, Your Worship?
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Okay, 8.8. Be it resolved the letter to the municipality of Swan Valley West regarding its request for information about water utility rates and water agreement be approved and authorized for delivery to Bill Gay. Should that not just be to the municipality? Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Any discussion? Councillor Duane Whyte.
I think it's appropriate to let all members of the municipal, so in other words, get that letter also. Just in case somehow in the medium it disappear or we didn't get sent, we remember the address. I'd like to see it go to all members of council.
Go ahead.
It's just a matter of procedure. Everything that goes to the mayor and council goes to the mayor, and then administration has it received by council. I can't tell the RM how to administer things, but it would go back to the person who authored the letter, which in this case is the reader.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 10.1. Excuse me. Whereas on December 1st, 2025, the Swan Valley Health Facilities Foundation passed a resolution to transfer all medical recruitment funds to the town of Swan River in trust for the Medical Recruitment Committee. And whereas the town of Swan River Council resolved at its meeting held December the 16th, 2025, that the Chief Financial Officer of the town of Swan River is hereby authorized to establish the necessary trust account and facilitate the transfer of medical recruitment funds as requested. And whereas the trust account was set up, but no medical recruitment funds were transferred into it, be it resolved that the account set up by the town of Swan River and trust for the medical recruitment committee funds be hereby closed. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion. Primarily the reason for this is because the medical recruitment operation or committee does have their own bank account. All they have to do is just change the signing officers, and they already have their account. So this is what's actually in the mix right now. This is what's been happening. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 10.2. Be it resolved the financial statements for the 12 months ending December 31st, 2024 be adopted as received. Moved by Councillor Powell, second by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 10.3. Whereas the town of Swan River used municipal equipment, materials, and labor to carry out private works on private property under the Municipal Act Clause 252E and set the fees and charges for works under Clause 252(1)A of the Act. And whereas sufficient time has allowed for payment of such outstanding amounts as listed on the attached Schedule A, totaling $3,179.32. Be it resolved that each of the unpaid amounts listed on Schedule A be added to the corresponding property tax roll and collected in that manner, and be it further resolved that notice be sent to each property owner detailing the amounts that be added to the taxes and advising that interest will accrue on the said amounts in the same manner as for unpaid property taxes effective August the 1st, 2026. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Deputy Mayor Moriaux. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Whereas Section 326 of the Municipal Act provides that a municipality may impose supplementary taxes, and subsections 306 and 306.1 provide that a municipality may cancel or reduce taxes upon receipt of assessment alterations from Manitoba Assessment Services. Be it resolved that the assessment alterations provided by Manitoba Assessment Services on July 16, 2026 be made to the property tax roll and business tax rolls with the resulting increases totaling $1,733.02 and the resulting decreases totaling $580.23. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Any discussion? All in favor?
I guess I'm still not understanding this 558 Spect Road.
Okay, so
Revised.
you're asking a question?
Yes.
Okay, what's the question?
The question is, for 558 Spect Road, we've got the revised 493,100. The change is 493,100. I guess I'm not understanding this right, whereas 1112, the house previous was 33, then we changed the minus 33. Like the other numbers seem to add up. Can somebody explain the change for 558 Spect?
Go ahead.
I can explain it. That's my house. It was zero value property until it was built, and once assessment services came, assess the house, then they give the town a value so that it can assign a tax
Okay.
rate to it.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. Where are we here? 10.5. Be it resolved, the following accounts be received. Payroll accounts checks number P5642, P5642, and direct deposit payments totaling $129,794.71 is listed on Schedule A. Payroll accounts checks number P5643 to P5645, and direct deposit payments totaling $144,858.39 is listed on Schedule B. General accounts checks number 34015 in the amount of $14,756 is listed on Schedule C, and the payroll accounts checks number P5646 to number P5648, and direct deposit payments totaling $133,093.39 is listed on Schedule D. Direct deposit payments totaling $64,961.71 is listed on Schedule E. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? It's carried. Be it resolved, the following accounts be approved for payment. General accounts checks number 33974 to number 34014 totaling $77,741.12 is listed on Schedule A. General accounts checks number 34016 to number 34060 totaling $107,592.06 as listed on Schedule B. Direct deposit payments totaling $860 is listed on Schedule C. Direct deposit payments totaling $44,116.86 as listed on Schedule D. Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Duane Whyte. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 11, bylaws. 11.1. Be it resolved that bylaw number 8, 2026, being a bylaw of the Town of Swan to regulate development activities and clearing of vegetation on public reserves along the river shorelines be read a first time. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Ainslie Whyte. Discussion? Go ahead.
I
Councillor
think
Duane
this is a very important bylaw we're considering. Part of the issue with our flooding obviously was 10 inches of rain. That was a big part. If all of us, landowners, farmers, industry, business people, leave a little more vegetation here and there, that would certainly reduce the opportunity for some of the issues we felt.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Did you have something?
No.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 11.2. Be it resolved that bylaw number 6, 2026, being a bylaw of Town of Swan River to control traffic and parking of vehicles be read a second time. Moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, seconded by Councillor Bobick. Discussion? Councillor Ainslie Whyte.
Have we had car accidents because of U-turns?
I report on that from the police. Anybody know that answer from the police?
No idea.
I was just curious why we have no person shall make a U-turn at any location between street intersections specifically. I just wondered what was driving that.
I can tell you it's a provincial law, so whoever made the bylaw back then probably said, well, we may as well put it in to remind people you can't do U-turn between intersections under the Highway Traffic Act. So maybe whoever made the bylaw just wanted to repeat it.
Makes sense. Any other further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. 11.3. Be it resolved that bylaw number 9, 2026, being a bylaw of the town of Swan to impose a short-term accommodation tax on any short-term accommodations be read first time. Moved by Councillor Bobick, seconded by Councillor Powell. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. There's no one wants a motion. We'll do members' privilege. I'll start with Deputy Mayor Moriaux.
Yes, I just want to express my appreciation to members of council and administration and basically everybody in the Swan Valley that came together and helped out each other and did what was required to do and is still doing what's required to do to survive and mitigate the flood response that we've had, that we've never seen, I guess, in the valley ever, from what people are saying. But I also want to, I guess, mention that as we tweak our emergency plan, this is one of the first times that an EOC was opened up within the town of Swan River that wasn't really managed and operated by council as a whole, as we had agreed to previously, that councilors are there to liaison with different departments but not actually be doers of actually parts of the EOC unless it's just a specific role, but not as council as a whole. So while there's still probably some tweaking to do on that, it was great to see that for the first time that it was put in action, that it actually worked as well as it did.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Bobick.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a reminder, again, I'll just speak on a bit on water testing and watershed. Anybody that's had any overland flooding, there is people in the town of Swan River that have their own wells. They're testing is free for now. So you guys can get them tested. So also, just in matter of the flooding, it's always grateful for LP being helped out whenever there's a disaster or something. This is twice now that I've been involved that they lend us a great big pump for our lift station. I would suggest that maybe we look into making an application so we can just plug into what we have there instead of stripping the wires going into our panels there and doing that a lot of work. So it seems to be that they have 3 of these pumps and it's something that they're going to have all the time, and I'm sure that they will lend us to us and save them emergency. So look into maybe what the cost is, just so we can pick the pump up, plug the thing in, and away it goes. Just to go back to the staff, that you know what, we have to congratulate our staff on what's done. I've received compliments all over town. Not only are they doing great with the flood, you have to remember they're doing their day-to-day operations at the same time. So everything above what their day-to-day operations are is being done also. So kudos to them. And that goes for administration too and all the departments. Again, good reports, everything. I've got a lot of compliments. I also would like to compliment our mayor. You've done a great job. People listened and you've been out there every day. I know your phone never quits ringing, so I mean, reports. And people you touch base with has really helped out here. That people need to understand that the connections that you have made things happen. So from me personally, thank you.
Councillor Duane Whyte.
Holy smokes. Exactly what Councillor Moriaux said, and exactly what Councillor Bobick says. It's a big team, and team function based on their leadership, which he did a great job of. Our town staff and Mr. Tewnion and his team, the Samaritan people, the Rubicon, the fire department, the EMO. I hated to do what I just did because there's so many more. And the lay people who went over to the neighbor's house and knocked on the door, kind of shoveled some play for you. So what a wonderful community we have, a valid community, we all work together. So the good news is we work together in the Ainslie, what a wonderful place we have to live in, and they have the issue of floods apparently. But another secondary issue is I so much respect Mr. Tewnian's typing skills, but I have difficulty believing that any man can type all these issues so quick and write it down. I'm sitting with two high-end business people, he has hundreds, maybe thousands of men and women work for him. He uses Otter AI. He records everything that says Duane says, it says Tanya says, it says it's all recorded, and then they can sit and start thinking about it as opposed to recording. And it'll send out a printout, key concepts discussed, issues to be addressed. And it's relatively, I don't have a clue what it costs, but apparently it's relatively inexpensive. But these guys are running big multinational, multi-Canadian corporations, multi-million-dollar businesses. They run on Otter AI. So I would encourage our CEO to have a look at it, to free up some time for him to talk to some of the techie guys. It's used often in our little town. Thank you for that.
Great, thank you. Councillor Ainslie, why?
There's actually even AI built into Teams. There's a facilitator that will do exactly what you just described and bank notes and tasks and all those things. So it's pretty cool. I would like to formally request that we have something formal that we're providing residents about the building permit thing. I feel pretty strongly that that's going to be completely overlooked, and as a flood affected person, what an insult to injury if I were to not know that.
I think that administration said they agree with that.
I agree. I'm going to be sending something out.
Oh, great. I just wanted to put it in the notes as
Yeah,
a formal,
okay.
so that it was on the record. I like the free water testing. When did you say that went till? Or do we know yet? Maybe not.
I'm going to take a guess at another month. So.
Oh, okay. That's a long time still.
Yeah, but it only happens every Tuesday.
Yes, and they're by noon, right?
Yes.
They had backed it off one day, but I think that was just circumstantial. It had to be 11:30.
Yeah,
that was
there was
like
something.
one day. Yeah, okay. Can we clarify just quickly what's happening at our next COW meeting? So we're having the full debrief of the emergency and all of our regular topics that we would normally review and what would be on the agenda. Like that's all happening at our next meeting?
At our next COW meeting, you have most of that, some of that agenda already completed, do you not?
Yeah, how COW meeting works is council reaches out to me up to the Friday before and tells me what they want to add it on the agenda. Otherwise, I build the agenda, and a major part of the agenda will be the flood discussion like we had after the last meeting.
And we don't tape that meeting. Yeah, so it would be cool if we had the flood discussion during a regular meeting with our, I guess I assumed that's what was going to happen initially. I guess that's what I thought was going to happen initially. I think that would be great to hear from leadership on the record and hear the debrief and have the discussion. As far as activities that we had to reschedule for Canada Day, I guess this is to Director Gordon-Broome. Not that this would even be on your radar yet, but I'm just wondering, like, surely there must have been some talk of the water cooler, and is it like, we're thinking like an October thing, or how, because like there's a lot that has to be done before we can think about rescheduling that?
Director, I don't know if you are in any of those, you were in the discussion that I had with the Ag Society, but to answer that question, there is a group right now formally trying to plan something and work with the town. They have not set a date for a planning date on that yet, and so once that happens, then we can give you more information on what that is, but they are looking at a date that we can work together. I know the firework kind of thing has to be done by, I think, like September the 7th.
Yeah.
And all that, we know we're aware of that. But as far as that planning day, they have not nailed it down yet, but they are kind of tentatively throwing some dates around at the end of August. And so then once we have that planning meeting, which is supposed to be, I think, beginning of next week, then we'll have more information on that. But there is some thinking of planning of what we can do with the Ag Society and maybe with some of the stuff, as such as fireworks on a day for everybody to kind of have something to grab onto.
And just on that note, understandably, we were given like a period of time, here's the grant money, you have to use it by then. Would I would think maybe, now that I'm saying it, not surely, but there could be a variance requested because of the flood and stuff?
This is that.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool, that's it for me.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's in your report.
It is.
Thank you.
Missed that.
Okay, so Councillor Powell.
Just basically to reiterate what everybody else has said here, and huge thank you to everybody. We've gone through some times that we weren't expecting, and I think we all learned from everything that went on. And we can only grow to make sure if this were to happen another time that we would be ready for it. But like I said, everybody did their job, and everybody stepped up to the plate in so many ways, and we had so many people that stepped in. So yeah, just a huge thank you to everybody for that. I know I appreciated it, because, I think everybody in town appreciated the welcoming and just the support. So yeah, other than that, there is a barbecue at Skills tomorrow afternoon, right? Thursday. Thursday, they're having a barbecue at Scales, and I would encourage everybody to attend. I think that's good. And I do believe they are planning to have another barbecue for, there is a plan for another barbecue for flood victims, and that's at the end of the month, but that's coming up. I would just also like to send, as she was a councillor of the town of Swan River, I'd like to send my condolences out to Tracy Whyte's family, as they're having their mom just passed away, so I just would like to reiterate that too.
Thank you. So obviously, the community is seeing, and I don't only mean the Swan River, but the whole valley has seen some devastating losses here in the last month, and it's just been heartbreaking. But the Parkland area, in our briefing that we had with the Parkland municipalities yesterday, there is over 1,000 events that will be more than 1,000. I'm guessing it might be even closer to 15 or maybe 2,000 events that are going to be documented throughout the whole Parkland region towards DFA and damages to those municipalities. So it's quite alarming, and so the municipalities got together over the last few weeks to talk about how we as a district, the Parkland district, can work together on advocating for what we need in this region and making sure that we have what it takes, if it's DFA claims or if it's anything to help residents, of course, through DFA, but also with our municipalities to get the monies that they need. If you have a municipality that has, say, $3 million in damages, and they have to go and say they may have an upfront money from the province of, say, $500,000 or $1 million, where's the $2 million going to come from? So these municipalities are quite concerned about this right now, and so this is the goal of this here with this group or whatever getting together on this flood situation. We talked about advocating the province. The province really needs to start on this flood review for 2026. They need to lead that. They can't leave that to the municipalities. I think it needs to be a regional parkland flood 2026 review. And it's something that I sent that to the Premier yesterday on that, and I'm certainly hoping that we can see some traction on that. I've advocated several different times to different ministers about, upfront monies to municipalities and also to residents. I was told by a read from down south in 1997, the municipalities, or residents of the municipalities down there in 97 received upfront $5,000. And I was kind of taken back by that. And I thought, wow, so I kind of poked the minister yesterday and said, we've done it once before, and there's a lot of people that need the money. Sure, they might have somebody, they may have insurance that might come, but some won't have that, and they need to put a new panel in their house. They might need a new saw or a new hot water tank, or they might need, a new furnace. And certainly $500 is a nice touch, but definitely it's not going to be enough, and this is going to be really tough. So these are a lot of things that the municipalities were talking about yesterday, including the mention of the Dauphin Hospital. And in my conversation with CEO Slate, I said that our hospital has 2 great operating rooms, and we have OR recovery rooms and all that we can handle, which we have already been doing, some procedures and more surgeries. Those surgeons, those doctors need to have a place to conduct their business, and they're going to need something soon. So this is an avenue where we can actually provide some of those services now that we have a CT scanner in Swan River. There's a lot of services that we can provide in the town of Swan River because of our facility. And CEO Slate had reaffirmed and said that absolutely we have probably an amazing facility that we can do that. But there are obviously steps the province has to take with getting those things in place. I don't really. We talked a lot about a lot of stuff, the volunteers and it's just amazing to see, all the people that have come together. And we'll talk about this for a long time, and I'm sure that in this, this day is, I don't want to call it celebration, but this day for us to get together, we'll be able to express more gratitude towards a lot of the people that really came and stepped up to plate. I thank Councillor Bobick for his words earlier, but you know what? I don't do all that just because, or I have the time or what. I have the support of council, and a lot of you have phoned me and gave me your support, administration. I've had other mayors and reeves call me and do exactly the same thing. So it just makes it a lot easier to do your job when you have people that are reaching out and giving you the most assistance that they possibly can. Including several ministers I had an opportunity to talk to over the last month, and I continue to talk to them on many things I'd like to advocate for. I think today I'm speaking to, I don't want to go too long, but I do want to make sure we give thanks in our administration, especially with them taking on their jobs and their roles, everyday roles of running our municipality, but also to going and running an EOC. On top of all that, and the stress that came with it, and the time that they had to spend outside from their families and their jobs to get the job done. I had some people telling me today, or actually the last little while, that the updates that our administration, and namely Director Gordon-Broome, who had done a great job in providing those, they said, they really like the fact that you numbered them. And I know that we learned that a long time ago. And so I like that we continued on with that, and you did a great job, and the rest of the team too, as well. As we don't have Mr. Biddisworth here, but there's a lot of stuff that he really kind of got his feet wet, kind of thinking, so to speak, and yeah, maybe it's a bad choice of words, but you know what, he really did step up and was under a lot of pressure for a long time there. So It's nice to see that Team Rubicon come to the community and taken on some of those roles in the emergency center for us, as well as Red Cross and all that. But there's a lot of other people that we've been talking to in the last month and actually in the last week on supports that we can get from people. And I thank them, and we've opened a lot of doors for a lot of support, not only for administration, but also for our community as well. So we'll hear a lot more about that in the days and weeks ahead to come. Now I will give it to Director Gordon-Broome. Usually I save myself for last, but I'm sorry.
It's okay, I thought you were gonna forget about us. It's all right.
No, never.
Darn. No, I think, like kind of on the theme of everyone here, I said it many times in my flood reports to council, but I think I owe a huge public thank you to my staff for their work in the flood event and under the task of logistics, and to the incredible community volunteers and donors who helped us. I need to specifically acknowledge Acting Recreation Manager Morgan Buck, who took complete charge of the support center with the help of Operations Supervisor Keegan Harness, as well as just community member Nikki Chartrand, who she headed up the donation center and did a fantastic job with no incentive other than helping our community. And then also to Albert Chartrand Friendship Center Executive Director Leslie Sembuluk, whose guidance and expertise were absolutely invaluable. She went through it all in Minnetonka, and she was an incredible support. So I am very proud of how we were able to come together and serve our community in such a great time of need. Also, just a thank you to the Swan Valley Fire Department, who came to our rescue once again in the Recreation Department this afternoon. Hopefully that's the last fire we experience this year on that. And on a happier note, just a congratulations to the Swan Titans Cricket Club, who have completed their immediate work that they wanted to do on prepping their cricket grounds, their new cricket grounds that have been totally signed off on, and so they can now enjoy that for the remainder of the summer, and they have been, so that's wonderful.
Okay, thank you. CFO Gnida.
So I do have an email March 31st from one of the town council's representatives on the RISE board asking if the chair of RISE sent me financials lately, and I said no. And that's the last I've heard about anything coming from RISE. So I'm not sure where things stand with that, and with the planning district I've heard nothing. Like, I don't know if they're meeting, if they're active. They haven't even provided a budget yet for 2026, or not that's come my way anyway. So I'm not sure what those two organizations are doing as far as getting their financial reports done.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep nudging, I guess. Yeah, sorry.
Well, this is my nudge.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Those-
nudging.
Those of you that sit on those boards, please
I hear
take
you
action.
loud- I hear you loud and clear on RISE, and that is, there was a meeting that I thought was canceled on July the 6th, and it has not been rescheduled yet, so we're waiting on that one there yet. So that's what I was told, that they have not been approved yet because of that meeting, but I actually thought that meeting was canceled. So anyway, I'll do that on my side, but that meeting has not been approved yet for rescheduled. Mr. Harvey.
Yes, I'd like to thank Jordan Rooks, who covered for me the first 2 days of the flood while I was dealing with flooding at our house. And then the public works staff for all the extra hours they put in, delivering sand and sandbags. A big shout out to all the volunteers who are helping their neighbors sandbag and then remove flood debris material, and then the NGOs who are in town and are tackling some tough messes and doing a good job, and it's nice to have them in town.
Absolutely, thank you. CEO Tewnion.
Oh, I would be remiss not to thank everybody for all the work, but it's kind of repetitive. I can say every time I have an opportunity to speak it always seems I'm thanking the staff, but that's just because we have such a phenomenal team, Your Worship. As you all know, first thing July 1st, we officially opened up the EOC when we realized how quickly the river was rising. Everybody did a fantastic job, but I really got to compliment Director Gordon-Broome, who is, as far as I know, never been involved in emergency as this, but I recognized her talents immediately and I assigned her as our logistics officer. And the proof was in the pudding, as we saw. She did a phenomenal job. And it's great to be able to have strong leaders like that working with me, because as you all know, I was dealing with the flood of my own house at the same time. And I think that the team collectively did a fantastic job, and I hope, I'm glad to hear people are recognizing that. So that's all I have to say. It seems like months ago, because it's,
Years.
it does, but
It's weird how that
it
is.
wasn't that long ago. So thank you to everybody.
All right, thank you. Okay, so then we'll move on to 14. Be it resolved that pursuant to sections 152(3) of the Municipal Act, Council will go into committee and close the meeting to the public. We have some reporting from the RCMP on prisoner origin, some HR, and discussion with flooded talks. Moved by Councillor Bobick, second by Councillor Duane Whyte. All in favor? It's carried. Again, moved by Councillor Duane Whyte, second by Councillor Bobick. All in favor? It's carried. We're adjourned.